Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. All right, guys. I don't. Okay, first, I do not like trashing on ZeniMax. Maybe I'm fibbing. Maybe I like it a little bit, but they leave themselves open for this type of meme. I mean, and it is. These are complete. Yeah, I don't have to go very far from material. I just don't. All I have to do is come over here to the ESO forum section. That's it. That's all I have to go to because there is a player who posted a poll that asks Elswyer, did you buy the collector's edition, normal, or not buy at all? Now, what I find interesting as I'm streaming this, now I stream my content, so I'm not scripted, I'm not editing. You get everything as it's being in real time. Everything's in real time presented. Now, let's see what's going in progress. PS4 NA mega server for maintenance during prime time. No scheduled maintenance. This is not scheduled, and yet the PS4 NA server is currently down. I don't know what that's about. We might even be looking into that right in a few minutes after this. Anyways, let's get on with the topic at hand. Just curious, and what reason, if any? I bought the collectors myself. That Dragonbone armor, though, I'm going to be making a necromancer whose sole purpose is to kill dragons. In character, anyway. She'll be a Khajiit in her trusty Dragonbone wearing Senche, her mount. Okay. Now, 15% with a total of 71 votes pre ordered the normal expansion or chapter. 62% or 50, not 62, 52, excuse me, bought either the physical or the digital collector's edition with 244 votes. But this one is kind of interesting because 32% did not buy Elswyer. That's 152 votes. Now, these are just people who took this poll. Keep this in mind. That this just reflects this forum page. This has no bearing on the larger scale, meaning it's probably even worse than 32%. And we're going to get into some reasons why they have yet to pre-order. This year's chapter doesn't come with anything for my existing characters, and I'm not into Necro. Had it been like Somerset and come with a new skill for my alts like Sijic, or new crafting like jewelry crafting, I'd been all over it. Somerset had both. Elswyer has neither. Just a simple, they had a spoiler too. Okay, cool. Did not buy Elswyer. I checked it out on the PTS, and nothing about Elswyer makes me want to open my wallet. One day I'll get it for gold, for crowns. I'm in no rush. You can't buy chapters for crowns, but all right. I'm getting it in May. It'll be the collector's edition, it's a birthday present for me. So this person has yet to buy it. Just stating. Now here it is. I think. No, not yet. I'm not playing ESO right now. I never understood the hype demand for Necros. I never had any particular, oh my god, Elswyer when. Sure, any new zone content is good, but I haven't been dreaming and waiting for the zone, and I'm trying to save up money for other things. Okay? When they get every base class to give way to its OP class, yeah, I hate that. Okay. Now, this one's a little lengthy. It's about, the jewelry crafting, Sijic. Okay. Waste the money for something that's only going to give you load screens. That's only going to give you load screens, plus nothing really new. Okay, one punch. Okay. Necro is not a selling point for me. Did not like the racial balance changes. I'm not happy with the class balance changes either. Elswyer has a story that is connected with DLCs, including dungeons. Elswyer has a house that, in order to use its full potential, you need to buy additional future DLCs. Ooh, that will contain keys. Yeah, like lock content on top of lock content. I could kind of see that. I'll wait till it's on sale someday, like I did with the other chapters. That's a legit reason. I'd love to buy Elswyer, but Zoss seems committed to producing a consistently poor EU server performance. I don't want to pay them more money until they've addressed this and performance has significantly improved. Two punches. Not yet. Canceled my pre-order despite waiting for ages to get to Elswyer. I think this will be disappointing zone, and I'm generally done with only gaming. All right. My daughter wanted to pre-order it for me as an early Father's Day gift. I asked her to hold on that though. I'm not into wasting my own money, let alone my daughter's, who has twins to look after. How the EU server issues play out determines if I spend another penny on this game or not. At the moment, it's not. If the server issues continue, I will ask her to get me Warhammer Chaos Bane instead. I have no feeling towards this chapter at all. So, not another one. Until EU servers will work like standards of 2020 MMOs. Another one. If I buy it, it'll be whatever version seems to be the best deal when it's on sale. I would have bought the physical copy of Collector's Edition, but since ZeniMax wants to save pennies, I will not pre-order anything to help them save those pennies. Whoa. After all, me not being in Elswyer should save them money by me not buying it. After all, they don't have to give out the ones and zeros. So I'm doing my job in helping ZeniMax save money by not buying it. Also, this early access on release just like Morrowind, and I'm sure to be Somerset. So I may as well wait a year and just get it for free when it's in ESO Plus. Chapters aren't part of that DLC pack. Okay. Just don't want to support less content and paying more. Sick of it. Happened in Morrowind, happened in Somerset, happened in Fallout 76, and I'm sure it's going to be the same for Elswyer. Might as well just wait. After all, the stuttering, disconnecting, and waiting to log in, I'm so used to waiting. Okay. All right. Not yet. We'll decide after seeing how Zoss dealing with the situation with PCEU. Haven't bought it yet and have instead canceled the ESO Plus. The situation with the PCEU server is untenable, and Zoss have repeatedly failed to both communicate and address the issue. They don't have my trust or my money anymore. Oh my. It's a long one. It's just on and off throughout this post. Not doing this. Way too expensive. Probably buy when it launches. And this person's going on about a ton of stuff. About all the nerfs. The coins for racial changes being limited. Wow. Bosner. Just, person replying back to a reply. It's just going on. There's always people who's going to be pro for it. But the question of it is, why are people against it? ZOS has had a long history of introducing new content that comes with extra glitches, bugs, blue screens, and lag. Morrowind and Clockwork City are great examples. I don't bother pre-ordering a game I know won't be fun to play for a while, but the Crown Store will work great. Don't worry. I don't feel like giving ZOS any money nowadays. The service they provide with the EU server is simply unfit for purpose in many levels. It is terrible how much money that ZeniMax Online Studio is going to lose due to what? Performance. Server crashing, terrible performance issues, not communicating. Let's check this out. So we have literally PS4 down. What is going on with this? Let's find out right now. Server maintenance underway now. There's no announcement here on the forums, but it's coming across Zone Chat in-game right now. What's going on? Yeah, ZOS, what the hell is this all about? Which platform? PS4. Rich gear, not in the hamster cage. Oh my god. We want to know some kind of emergency maintenance. Asking wow. It's prime time. Clara would be an emergency downtime if both unscheduled and in prime time. Chances are it's to fix an exploit. That could happen. It's not 26, 2 hours. Typically, well, it's supposed to be. Oh my God. Let's see if they at least responded. Did they at least say what the hell was it brought down for? There's Kale. No! God damn! ZeniMax! ZeniMax! When you want to know why players are pissed the fuck off. When you want to fucking know. Why are they upset with us? What the fuck did we do? It's what you're not doing. It's called communication. Some people are a lot more forgiving if you just say, what the fuck is going on? They would be maybe a little bit more forgiving and have more leeway if you would just post something. Oh my God, ZeniMax Online Studio. You know why you're freezing up? Because you're in a big fucking hole and you don't want people to see how bad this shit really is. That's where lack of communication comes in. You know why companies don't fucking communicate? It's because they're afraid to tell you what the fuck, how bad the fucking shit is. They don't want to admit it. Because had it been something minor that they had to go in, resolve, bring down the server really quick for an emergency maintenance, resolve it, bring it back online, they would just post it and say, hey, we're having an issue with some sort of exploit. We're looking into it. But because it's affecting, it can cause multiple problems, we have to bring the server down. Something that simple. Something just that simple if it was the case. But is it? You don't know. But more than likely, shit's really fucking getting deep. And I'm going to say this again and again and again. ZeniMax. God dang ZeniMax. Get your fucking greedy hands out of the fucking cookie jar. Because guess what? There's not going to be a cookie jar because you can't even fill the fucker. Nobody can even fill it. It's like, imagine putting hands in a cookie jar and the kid doesn't take it out and you got to pour cookies in so the kid can get the cookies. But you can't pour the cookies in because the hand's blocking the hole. That's the fucking board members at ZeniMax. We can't take our hands out. We want the cookies. There's nothing fucking in there. And you're going to break the jar. Fucking God, son of a bitch. Telling you guys. All right, I'm going to end this stream. I'm going to take a 5-minute break and then I'll bring back up another one. But yeah, what's up? Let's see. PSA off to Mystic. If you don't play ESO, why stream about it? Why don't you shut the fuck up? Even with all the problems, I love ESO, man. Pre-ordered my DLC already. Yeah, well, a lot of people are being affected. Who the heck is this shameless guy? He's a fucking idiot, Sylvia. I'm okay, can't complain. And you? Yeah, this shameless dude's a fucking idiot. That's all he is. He has no idea. I've been saying it. Have I not? Have I not, ladies and gentlemen? Have I not? How I said it for about a year now. Fucking look at the servers. Get it fixed. Get it fixed. What's bad is that they made this pledge. Gina posted about being more open, having better communication with the community. Still nothing, no word on why PS4 was taken offline for emergencies. This is why people are getting pissed off. They're getting pissed. I have ESO runs like shit. I have played multiple MMOs throughout my years, and 200 latency is not normal. It's not fucking normal in any fucking company. It's got, when you log in and you see a 200 latency, the only thing you're saying is, what the fuck? Unless you're an MMO noob. Unless you've never played an MMO before, you are completely like, yeah, it's cool. Oh, yeah, there's a little lag. You know what's sad? I remember rubber banding back in mid-90s. I never played a game without problems. Every game has problems, Snoop, but I'm about to get there. So in the mid-90s, we used to have a rubber banding effect, right? Where there was a delay in the server response without latency issues. And I remember this. You'd see it. You'd be like, travel like 5 meters, bounce back. And you check your latency. And you look at the latency and you're like, oh, I didn't see a latency issue. And you're looking at frames and you're taking a look at all this. And majority of the time it wasn't, it was just resolution, right? Rendering or something stupid, or an ability or something, or some server lining. Remember servers, how nodes used to be stacked against servers? Nodes used to be butted against each other. And you could see the creases in the world. Remember that, guys? If you guys are old EverQuest players or Star Wars Galaxy players, you guys know what I'm talking about. Seaming, like the seams on the node strips, And that's where majority of your rubber banding would happen. Because it didn't affect the latency. It just was the data transfer from one node to the next that caused the rubber banding. So those are the type of problems we used to see. I played Runes of Magic, and it was laggy as hell too. And Terra was horrible with lag, worse than ESO. I don't know how you lagged in Terra. I played in Terra, man. I got like 120 latency in that game. I used to play in Battlegrounds in Terra, and I ripped the fuck back. Raids, I didn't get into raids, but me either. But I've also never played a game with this much server issues, right? This game has so much goddamn server issues. It's terrible. I play Terra. I actually downloaded it on the PS4 just to try it out on console. The console version's okay. It's all right. I noticed there are a couple little issues in the console, like controls and stuff. It's not terrible, but it's different. Terra's worse than ESO. PC or PS4, Snoop? Which one? PS4 probably. I have it on Dell laptop. Terra? Yeah, Terra will play on almost anything nowadays. Back then you used to have a pretty decent rig. But now you can probably play it on pads if they had the shit. Still not as bad as ESO. Yeah. Every game has issues. But SWG, we used to have it during server, node framing. Play Madden, play 3K. No, I hate Madden. I haven't played Madden since 2005. I haven't played Madden since 2005. I gave up on that franchise. They didn't hardly do anything to the game. To keep spending $60 on just the same shit from year to year, just roster changes. I gave up on Madden. I gave up. And then they got these microtransactions now affiliated with one of my childhood football games that I grew up since it was on cartilage. Oh man, nah. Laugh my ass out, guys. I can name many games with worse servers. I have never Snoop. Here's the thing. I've never had latency of 200 on a login, other than ESO. I can get on Black Desert and I'll have a 150 on an open world. ESO servers are bad, Snoop. They're bad. The server's down. It's down. Why? Why is this down? Why? We don't know. I don't know. The EU servers crashed over the weekends. They were reporting 400 spikes in latency. It's bad. They have one of the worst IPs in Western MMO companies. They have the worst. Blizzard runs 125. That's what's killing me, Snoop. That's why it's killing me to play it. That's why it's killing me. I can jump on every other game. I can jump on DC, and I never hit a lag spike. It's like, why? Why am I lagging so bad in this goddamn game? I understand how much stress the servers are on. I know there's a lot more data. I understand all of this more than most. 2K has the worst servers in Madden. Also, I might believe you on that. I'm not. I don't. I don't play those games. So, but like when it comes to MMOs, way bigger company and more money. Yeah. Well, that's not excusable. That's the thing. Everything on an online game, comes down to IP. Everything comes down to IP. It all comes down to the one thing. And now we got EU players who aren't pre-ordering Elswyer, who have canceled Elswyer. And why? Doesn't matter, though, because those games are dead. Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's what I'm trying to say. This game would be great if they could get it under control. It has all the foundations. They're making my job a lot easier, Yeah, those games are dead as fuck, Mystic. Which ones? DC? DC's doing right. Dude, I'm playing on literally Final Fantasy 14. They've hit over 14 million subs. They just did the world visit system, where you can jump your shards from one point of the server to the next without flaw. They have a small little delay in like their what they're wanting on their latency. And one of the content creators for Final Fantasy 14 said they're delaying this one part of the game because they want the server to be better performing. And Square Enix just put in 2 new servers anticipating all this. Black Desert Online isn't dead. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm playing Black Desert. Very high pop. 150 latency. DC is dead. Dude, it's got thousands of players. It might not have as many as ESO, but there's thousands of players playing DC. Thousands. You go in there right now and you go to the friggin' Watchtower, you go over to the Hall of Doom, it's probably like a couple hundred people right there right now. And that's not people just within instance. But, dude, you're missing the point, Snoop. Their servers, I'm getting a 125 latency. They have over 14 million players. Over 14 million players with no flaws. Why? 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 It's not a discrepancy about the combat and stuff. It's about performance. Black Desert outperforming. You watch the Twitch. Black Desert's not dead. That's big. DC probably is lower, but DC's what's keeping Daybreak alive. The DC player base is keeping Daybreak afloat. So, they're doing fine. They like they're doing more than fine. They're doing pretty good. Not as good as ESO. Streamers can't crack 300 views. Yeah, but it's a dated game. Plus the PvP went to shit. So once again, what draws in players? PvP, not PvE. Who wants to watch PvE? Who wants to watch PvE? Nobody wants to watch PvE hardly. Nobody. It's all about PvP. All about it. ESO combat is fun, but it doesn't fundamentally work. You can break free. Bash was wonky, skills not firing. Final Fantasy may be boring, but it works. Final Fantasy is not boring to me. It might be boring to you, Snoop, but I'm sorry. I use macros. So the thing I challenge myself with, I'm used to playing a turn-based game. Can't say that about ESO, yeah. I'm used to playing a turn-based game. So when I'm playing Final Fantasy 14, I'm thinking about my rotation. I'm thinking about my GCDs. I'm thinking about how things have to be sequenced. I'm looking at the animation firing. So literally, when I'm looking in comparison to Elder Scrolls animations, let's take a look at that. I'll say that ESO combat is more interactive, but is it as does it deliver the same impact visually? I don't think so, but that's my opinion. Final Fantasy isn't a better game than ESO, but that's your opinion, Snoop, and I have an opinion. That's irrelevant. Our opinions don't matter. Final Fantasy has the Asian market very by a sale. Listen, dude, they're doing millions in the U.S. Irish here, Irish, guess what he saw when he went to see the Avengers? Guess what's being showed in theater? Guess what's being showed in theater? The Shadowbringer trailer is being shown all across America in the movie theater for the opening of the Avengers. Like, how do you think they afford that? ESO just has just US, EU, not fair comparison. It's not just the EU. Because if you remember right, Snoop, should we say that's just the EU? Because that's not. That's not just it. So I mean, you like ESO, and that's fine. You have that opinion. I mean, that's cool. I like ESO. But I'm gonna say the pros and cons of each game. Like, I find ESO combat to be more interactive. I like ESO PvP better than Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 14 PvP is terrible. It's god awful. God, but PvE, I'm sorry, ESO fails in comparison to PvE. Final Fantasy 14 has a linear progression system, meaning I'm going to progress. I know I have to go through point A to point B to get to Z. I know I have to get through these steps to get my gear. Now, some people don't like linear. I prefer sandbox. That's why I stayed with ESO for as long as I did. But their progression system and their end game has holes in it because of that. Now, here's the thing. Now, when we take a look at the PC, NA, right here, January series loads, PCEU. Compared to North American servers, peak times, okay, right here, longer term, we are spinning up additional hardware in both our NA and EU data centers. Not just EU, but NA. I play in NA. I have this game on PC. It's right here. I have Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls is right here. There's my ESO. Right? There's my ESO. And yes, we are adding more capacity to PC NA as well as EU because we are rapidly approaching the same problem in North America. You did? Dodge roll. It still has combat. You taught every ad, no depth to tanking or nothing really. Tanking, it's linear games are different, Snoop, and that's like I said, it's a preference thing. It's preference, but you can't say GCD because when you roll dodge, you have immunity, which has a global cooldown. You're just you. It's a Twitch based game. ESO is, and ESO is a good game. But it's performance. I'm not talking about comparing the quality of games. I'm talking about performance between games. Final Fantasy had nothing but a grindy Asian. No, it's not grindy. Actually, Final Fantasy 14 isn't grindy. It's kind of too easy to get to level 70 in comparison to other MMOs, in my opinion. Like Black Desert Online is grindy. Black Desert, I can spend 4 or 5 days leveling one level in Black Desert. 4 or 5 days for hours leveling one level in Black Desert. Final Fantasy 14, you aren't grinding it out. If you want to play a grindy game, play Silk Road. Silk Road is grindy as fuck. Korean-based games are very grindy. But Japanese games typically aren't. Japanese games, they kind of taken some of the Western philosophy towards getting to a certain point of the game, but they really make it where you have to engage into the drawn out story. That to me is probably one of those elements. Sky Shards, lore books, skill lines like Undaunted, Mage Guild, ESO is far more grindy. Final Fantasy, you do everything once, right? Mystic, I have the game installed. You might find it grindy. I'm just telling you, you don't know what grindy is. You don't. Took me years to get to level 10? Dude, what the fuck were you killing? Snoop! you know there's XP rest, right? Rest XP? You know there's bonuses associated with the content, right? You know there are bonus points? How to get your bonus structure? Like, dude, Scott. Scott leveled a 50 in a day. In 6 hours. Scott, he works all the time. All the time. On his day off, he took 6 hours, and I think he got to level 50. I do want to say it was level 50. And he got his level 50 in a day. Now, I'm sorry, Snoop. If you can get 50 levels in a day, that's not grindy. That's not grindy enough. But I'm not here advocating for Final Fantasy. That's regardless. It's not about Final Fantasy versus ESO. Because ESO's already lost that. Okay? Regardless of our opinions. Statistically and mathematically and population-wise, people have spoken. The king is Final Fantasy. That they have the crown. They took that shit from Blizzard in January, and they're not relinquishing it anytime soon. And Elder Scrolls doesn't stand a hell of a chance if they're losing EU players. If you're trying to be number one in your what you're trying to do, it's all about what? Retention. It's all about retaining and gaining new customers. But what do you need to do that? You have to have performance. Right? You have to. It's just that apparent. And like I said, I'll go back to ESO once they get performance under. Like tomorrow, like I said, if they said our performance is up to par, we got latency of 150, holding steady. I'd be like, fuck it, I'm in. I'm nosediving in that bitch. Even if Cyrodiil pushed me up at a 250 latency, I'd still stay with that shit. I would still stay. But that's what it is. And we can't debate that. We can't debate it. It's not even a debate. It's all over the place. It's coming from Matt himself. The executive director has acknowledged the problems. Yes, right or wrong. Right or wrong. They finally got it up. Did they actually tell us, though, what it was from? Let's hopefully find out. Okay. Nope. Regarding PCEU server upgrades, all tons of shit. Okay. Did they announce why it was taken down? I doubt it. No. Hopefully it was a fire. Oh my. All the while refugees are here. No. Snoop. Over 14 million subs. Not players. Listen to me, Snoop. Not players. Subs. Snoop. If you think 14 million is just all Asians, you need to wake up, my brother. You need to wake up. The collector's edition for Shadowbringers is sold out. The English version. It's sold out. Hopefully they got new ones. Waiting list. They are sold $199 English version. Not the Asian version. The English version is sold out, Snoop. The English version of this is sold out for $200. It's one of the most anticipated. It's what they Yoshida said this is their biggest expansion to date. They're getting 9 new dungeons, 2 new trials, 3 new raids. It's huge. New crafting system, new combat system. So does WoW. Most of WoW's numbers come from Asia. All right. This is sold out, Snoop. It's right here. It's right here. I can't make this up. I'm streaming this. Right? Square Enix store. Collector's edition. Waiting list. I can't even purchase this shit. It's sold out. You can still get the digital, but you can't get the physical. It's sold out. This collector's edition is sold out. Both editions were sold out. Asian market and English version. Sold out. Sold out. Yeah, dude, I'm not being biased. I'm not it's not a debate, bud. I'm not trying to argue with you, Snoop. I'm not being biased. I told you my favorite game is Elder Scrolls. The PvP is better in Elder Scrolls. There's nothing being biased here. There's nothing being biased. I even said that's a preference. If you like Elder Scrolls Combat, that's because you prefer it. That's not being biased. I said I'm used to playing turn-based games. So I understand turn-based a little bit better when it comes to sequencing and getting all my skills and everything, lined up for proper rotations and shit. So I don't find it boring. That's my opinion. Now for a lot of players, it may be that way. I'm not debating that. I'm not arguing with you with that. But we cannot deny the facts. We can't. With over 14 million adventures worldwide, and you have to be subbed to play. They have over 14 million subs. Not players. Subs. It's a lot of moolah. Dude, it's the number one MMO because World of Warcraft didn't see this number since Wrath of the Lich King. Okay, so I played, like I said, I played MMOs for the longest time. We know all about these numbers when they were always announced. Blizzard, Wrath of the Lich King hit its top peak at one time, right? It hit a huge amount of number. Like, I want to say 12 point something million when Wrath of the Lich King was launched. When it was launched, right? Square Enix is in the Guinness World Book of Records, Snoop. Did you know that? Okay. Oh, it's Guinness, G-U-I. Spelled that wrong. So let's take a look. Mario Kart's on here. Okay. Is this really Monster Hunter, Resident Evil, tallest monster in the Monster Hunter world, most beat 'em up video games composer, oldest video gamer YouTuber. This isn't even. Is this the official site? There's a lot of shit on video games. I didn't even realize this shit. Holy sheepo kebabs. I've never been here. Tons of largest collection of Final Fantasy memorabilia. Oh, wow. Most functional gadgets in cosplay. Wow. Let me see. Top gaming videos. Sakura Yoshido. I don't even know. Like I said, I don't even know any of this shit. Let me see. There's tons of shit on here for video games. Holy god dang. But I don't know where it's at. I have to take a look. But somebody was like, whatever. I'm done arguing. Jesus Christ, you guys can't beat this blind. Dude, I like ESO. By every measure, you want Final Fantasy, it's number one. Just the facts. Dude, that's what we're saying. Snoop, it's 14 million. I understand. Listen, I understand your point, Snoop. ESO is a good game. It's in some of the top of what it's doing. PvP, I think ESO could. I wish it would clean up a little bit, and so it could be better. But PvP's a lot better. There's a lot of things I like about ESO. I'm not debating that, but unless Cinemax can put out this type of confirmation, unless they can say this with an absolute, which has never been announced. They said 10 million. I think they had 10 million unique IP signatures like 3 months ago, right? Which is IP signatures. Basically, different 10 million people worldwide had different IPs that logged into Elder Scrolls. Now, that's not subs, but those are people who have the game. So probably even 12 million players have the game. But how many subs does ESO have? Because to play this, you have to be subbed. You have to be subbed. They're making $15 times 14 million. That's what's making this number one. We can't debate that. ZOS can't touch it. ZOS wish they'd have this number. Believe you and me. I wish ZOS would have this number. Because if ZOS had this type of money, we might not be fucking with all this shit with the server performance and issues. Because the greed probably would be so outrageous, they'd be like, yeah, go ahead, burn 20 million into the hardware. We're rich. We're rich enough. I wish they'd have this. Because maybe, just maybe, we would get what we need. Maybe. I still doubt it, but this is you can't this is what's killing it. And Blizzard Activision is not even announcing their numbers recently. They've refrained because since January they had posts on the third-party programs which were hitting down under the 8 million markers. So it's like, holy shit. Like, ESO isn't my life, bro. Dude, I totally agree with you. I'm at work, and if I couldn't, I would just pop into Diablo. But how is it biased? There's no biased numbers. It's just a fact. What's biased? I'm asking you. What's biased? Well, I mean, I'm asking you now, because I'm sitting here and I'm cluttered. I'm like, huh. Elder Scrolls can't be number one. You have to beat out this game and World of Warcraft to take that crown. And I agree with you. World of Warcraft players have migrated over to ESO. They have. That's a fact. I agree with you. It looks good for them in that element. Problem of it is the servers are doing piss poor. Now you have EU players dropping subs. They're dropping subs. They're dropping pre-orders. And why? Because they should have upgraded their servers a shit long time ago. Is it the customer's fault that ZOS was unprepared for an increase? Is that the customer's fault? Or is that ZeniMax's fault? Who's at fault when it comes to providing a service? These are the questions. This is what I'm talking about today. I'm not talking about who's doing what or what not. I mean, Square Enix has done their job. They put in 2 new servers prior to their expansion. 2. They introduced the world visiting system. No hiccups. There's a small little thing, even just minute. You don't even, as a player, you don't even notice it. But for Yoshida's like, not acceptable. We're holding off until we get it to this point. The big guy for Final Fantasy said, nope, time out. Not good enough. Not good enough. Yes, it's performing fine. Yes, our servers aren't crashing, but we want it between this point. Not good enough. You know who says that? People who give a fuck. That's how you have to beat it in the gaming industry. It's the highest MMORPG market in the world. ESO and Final Fantasy is anime-based. ESO isn't. Right, but that's, once again, a preference. Right. I agree. That's what makes the number biased, Mystic, and you know this. The number is head count. There's no bias to head count. It's head count. It's like, it's a preference, but you're just admitting it's a preference. So, it's anime-based. So, you're saying that more people prefer anime? Come those ugly ass graphics in Final Fantasy. Dude, I love the graphics. I'm an anime fan. I grew up watching Macross. My kids have watched Vampire Hunter D, and I'm being a fanboy, right? You kind of are, but that's fine. I love Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls is my favorite MMO, so don't get me wrong. Like, if anybody says, what's your favorite MMO of all time, I would say ESO. Right? What's the best running games? Well, that's a little bit harder. I think Final Fantasy 14 is a damn good running game, but I bumped into a shitload of good running games in the past. So now I'd have to go back and go through so many games where it's been like, yeah, World of Warcraft. As much as I hate them now, they had one huge crash during AQ. They had that resolved in a week. They got new server upgrades and swore they would never have that issue ever again. And I don't think they ever did. So, World of Warcraft server performance is by far probably some of the best you've ever seen. Almost majority of Asian markets have probably some of the best IPs. You know, they take their tech pretty serious. You know, just the way it is. So I can't say, when it comes to things like that. But I love animes. I love them. And that's one thing I really feel like I like is when I'm swinging my katana, when I grab my katana on my samurai, you see these visual effects that represent the attacks, like the half moon. When I swing my sword halfway, it forms the crescent of the moon, right? When I do my sword spin, you'll see my buff kick in through my hand. There's such small eye candy that stacks up, and it's so smooth and fluid. It is fucking phenomenal. So regardless of the anime perception, the delivery in the effects alone are simply just amazing. If you go on the forums, you'd see many Asian players play ESO, asking for Asian servers all the time, saying no Asian players play ESO. It's false. Irish, are there Asian-based ESO servers? Nope. US and EU only. Right. Even Aussies have to connect to the EU server. And Australians have been asking for their own server. So there's only 4 servers. I think ESO would do good in the Asian market. I think they would. I think they would do well in the Asian market. I think there would be a potential push there for them to gain more capital, to open up potential revenue. And you have to take a look at that. How can you expand your business? But the problem of it is currently they can't even keep running the hardware that they're having. No, I said there are player from Asia who play ESO, typically on the EU server, right? That's where they typically connect. Yeah, you can play ESO if you're in Asia. If you can, all you have to do is connect. The thing about it is though is how bad. One thing you're considerably farther away, and then that affects your connection. And then what? The server affects the connection. So I wouldn't want to play ESO over in Asia. Fuck that. Then it'd say there were Asian servers, but they have been asking, meaning there's need. Will Zos listen? Like you said, no. Right. And that's all. Listen, I'm not against you, Snoop. I love you, man. I love you. I do. You're my dude. But the thing about it is, the servers need addressed. They need addressed. Performances, and it's affecting their bottom line now. ZeniMax I've said this. Have I not, Irish? And have I not, Snoop? You've even heard me. ESO could be the best MMO ever. It could grab the titles. It could take it all because the fundamentals are present. The lore is present. The devs do good work. It has everything fundamentally what you want in an MMO. Absolutely. I agree. I totally 100% agree with this. Unfortunately, it's never going to happen. It's not. Because they keep dicking themselves. At the end of the day, they're only dicking themselves. Like I said, the cookie jar. You got to take the hand out to be able to put cookies back in. Right? Because there's nothing left. They're grabbing for shit, but there's nothing there. They do get sub numbers from Asia. Still doesn't put them number 1. Right? Irish, you don't what I'm saying. Just stop typing to me. Mystics understands what I'm saying. I do understand, Snoop. I do. I totally get it. But all I'm saying is, it's not a debate. This isn't a debate about Final Fantasy XIV and ESO. They're 2 separate games. They both do well. Yeah, performance needs addressed. Thank you, Jared. Thank you. That's all I'm saying. It's not a competition between the two. Let's take the competition out. Throw the competition aside. I don't give a fuck about the competition. You know, I mean, we can have this debate long and wide. You will have people on each side of the campaign, whatever. At the end of the day, I'm a black and white guy. I don't have an opinion. I have preference. You know, I have what I prefer, but I'm a black and white guy. If it doesn't enter black and white, it doesn't exist. I want to see factual numbers. That's the type of person I'm built to be. I'm just realistic. So that's all I am. But it's just about performance, getting performance into control. Mystic, when you find MMORPG more better than ESO with the combat and cash shop systems and graphics, I will join right now. Right. I mean, yeah. There is a more complete game than ESO. That's speculative. Like a lot of like I heard a couple of people we were talking, one of like real life friends who left BFA. And I said, and they asked me, they knew I was a content creator. And they said, what would you do? And I'm like, there are a lot of good games out there. The problem of it is, what are you looking for when migrating from WoW? That becomes the question. So if they say they want PvP, I would say, well, here's these options. Well, I want PvE. Well, then here's these options. So it's all about preference, man. It's that simple. Like HUD, even the HUD interface can throw some gamers off. You know, sometimes people are a little finicky, man. Sometimes it's just the little things. Like you told me one time you're intimidated by Final Fantasy 14. There's a lot of shit going on in the HUD, right? There's a shitload of stuff going on in the HUD. Some players don't like that HUD. They don't even like the HUD. And that's respectable. That's simple. I do understand, but because there's no servers, that doesn't mean there's no Asian market. I do understand Asian players do play ESO, saying they don't because it helps makes it true. Yeah, I just keep saying, like, if ZeniMax was to explore the Asian market, I think they would do well. I don't think they would do as good as in Western culture because we're used to that type of game versus the Asian market, but I totally concur with what you're saying, Irish, that there are players playing ESO who are asking for the servers because there is a demand there. So, and if ESO was to put a data center somewhere in Asia, it would maybe benefit them. But once again, it's a big investment. So they have to not only get the hardware, they have to maintain it, they have to staff the data center. Mystic, name a more complete game. Please, I'm waiting. If PvE, anything but Elder Scrolls. I'm sorry. Elder Scrolls doesn't have progression. WoW's more engaging than ESO in progression. Way too crowded, right? Final Fantasy is more engaging in progression. Asmongold was looking at Nixium's video and said, hey, is there mounts in here? And somebody said yes. And everybody said, no, it's through the Crown Store. And Asmon's like, no. Because in other games, you earn your mounts through your feats. But then somebody told him, we have skins in the ESO. Which is true. So, but when it comes to progression's different. Progression's the grind. And it's the elite attitude of the MMO market. It always has been since the EQ days. That's why I've appreciated Sandbox. I don't want to be told I have to go through step A and step B to be a good player. I want more customization. Elder Scrolls gives me that. So yes, Elder Scrolls is my favorite game because I'm uncaged, right? I don't have to follow anything. The end game is what I make it. I can do my trials and do what? Get gear, but what good's the gear? It doesn't progress me to the next tier. More complete game? World of Warcraft. If you're asking for one game that will beat Elder Scrolls as far as complete, World of Warcraft. If you're only asking for one complete, World of Warcraft. It still beats ESO. And I hate World of Warcraft. I hate it. But it's more complete than ESO. It is. They have esport PvP. They have esport dungeon system. Esport dungeon system. They have leagues. Pro gamers. They have PvE and PvP. They have dungeon systems. They have raid systems. Their raids are huge. It's wow. If you're asking for one more game that beats Elder Scrolls as complete, it's World of Warcraft. Why has World of Warcraft been a phenomenon for as long as it has? Why? Why? That's why I keep trying to say, Snoop. You can't twist the words on me because ESO still doesn't compete even with World of fucking Warcraft. It doesn't. And that's what's fucking sad. It can't even beat WoW. I agree with you. But when it comes to complete performance and content, WoW beats out ESO. You ask for complete. You didn't say who has the best graphics, who has best. That's all opinion. But if you want facts about progression in PvP and everything, sorry, ESO doesn't even go up against World of Warcraft. Even for Battle BFA, which BFA sucks. But let's get it straight. In Arena League this year, is World of Warcraft going to be there for esports this year? Is World of Warcraft going to be there during the E-Games? One of the biggest venues in Europe and Asia is E-Games. Yeah, it's not about the graphics. It's not. That World of Warcraft graphics were intentionally designed low render. They did that intentionally, and it worked. They didn't do that by accident. It's not about that, Snoop. You don't get what I'm telling you. Is World of Warcraft going to be at E-Games? Are they going to be there? Do you know how many players, how many teams go into Arena, let alone Mythic runs? It's huge. It's the size of football stadiums packed. Snoop, you're in a dreamland right now. Dude, I just told you. World of Warcraft even beats ESO. Just E-Game. Is ESO going to be at E-Games? In anything? Is it going to be there? Is one ZeniMax product going to be at esports this year? One ZeniMax game. One. Is there any ZeniMax game going to be at E-Games this year? Fuck ESO. I mean, name me one ZeniMax game. You name me one ZeniMax game that's going to be in E-Games this year, Snoop. And I'll tell you, you win. It doesn't. They don't. They can't get sanctioned. You have to get sanctioned to be able to compete. And there's a shitload of things to get that sanction. And performance, and bugs, lack of bugs, the more performance, it doesn't have to worry about balance. But performance, counterplay, all of these little lists are down in sanction listing to be able to compete at esports. And ZeniMax can't even get sanctioned. What's that say? You opened up this can of worms, Snoop. You opened up this can of worms. League of Legends, through all of its shit, is still one of the top most played games out there. It's not about the graphics. You're asked complete. When it comes to complete, yes. I'm telling you that, okay. Do you want to say that ESO, who do you think's the number one Twitch game right now? Do you believe ESO is the number one game on Twitch? Look. League of Legends is number one. E-game. 149,000 viewers. League of Legends. Fortnite. Grand Theft Auto. Overwatch is beating Elder Scrolls. Battlegrounds are beating it. World of Warcraft is beating it. Apex Legends is beating it. Keep going down. Mortal Kombat's beating it. Call of Duty's beating it. And where is this? Right here. 5.9 viewers. 5.9. World of Warcraft, 29. 30-5. What are we missing? These are MMOs. If we're looking against MMOs, sorry, I just told you. ESO fails. It's not. Snoop. It's a world thing. It's not my opinion thing. It's a Twitch thing. It's the Twitch phenomenon. These aren't made up numbers. Not even Final Fantasy 14 has beaten the ESO out of this view frames. Like nobody watches hardly Final Fantasy. 2.8. That's almost under half of ESO. It is. It's under half. So if you want to be, look, Magic the Gathering, the card game. I have this game. It's actually pretty damn good. But when it comes down to it, when we're talking the number one complete MMO, it's World of fucking Warcraft. I don't like that, but it's the truth. Okay? I'm sorry. They have a presence in esports. That generates money. It generates publicity. It generates revenue. Right? They have their own they have BlizzCon, which was terrible last year. When everybody else is going to E3, Blizzard doesn't need to do it. Blizzard has its own thing. All you got is graphics, though. You keep saying complete, but you only bring up graphics. Right. You're not bringing up PvP. Are you saying that ESO PvP is better than World of Warcraft? Because 30,000 players are telling you fuck no. Because guess what majority of all this is? It's fucking PvP. This is PvP. I keep trying to tell you guys. Except, oh, look, here's one raider. There's maybe another raid. But majority of this is PvP, dude. I keep trying to tell you guys. PvP brings in the players. It brings in the viewers. It's the thing. It's what feeds your game. And ESO lacks counter. I've said that for 2 years now. Its counterplay is really bad. It has good combat, but bad counter system. Why is World of Warcraft being ESO out of PvP? Is it because it's turn-based? No. Hell no. Is it because of balance? World of Warcraft has one of the worst balancing systems in gaming. Its balance system is god fucking awful. It's awful as fuck. But the one thing World of Warcraft does that keeps it in competitive market is counterplay. Its BG system is structured about group play, and every ability can be countered. Some of it's on a GCD, but it's counterable. And that's where ESO falls short. I've said that. You can see my shit when I'm taking a look at you. Everything's streamed. Name more 100. Yeah, I've read it, dude. And you can't do that. They're deflecting. I'm not talking. Dude, I'm talking numbers. You're talking about complete, and I told you the most complete MMO. Yeah, ask me my opinion. It was an opinion. It's not even an opinion. It's a fact. I don't like it. I don't like what Activision Blizzard is. I'd rather boycott these fuckers. But if I'm going to be honest with you, and you want the truth, it's World of fucking Warcraft. ZeniMax has a long way to grow as a company. They did good. They did good with the ESO. They made a big turnaround. They did. It's great. Graphically, you're right. It's really good. Not better than Black Desert. Black Desert has better graphics than ESO. But, it's good. It's really good. Good graphics. Good lore. Probably I love the lore in ESO. It's one of my favorite lores. Now, a lot of people would argue that World of Warcraft lore is a lot more detailed and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. You got the WoW fanboys being like, whatever. World of Warcraft lore is fine. But I'm partial to ESO's lore system. I'm partial to it. So, but remaining unbiased, I'm going to say this for a fact. Regardless of the combat system or how the system's derived, or how good the graphics are, or any of these things, we have to look at the facts that are presented to us, right? We're taking a look at MMO market. We're taking a look at what's grabbing the most attention in these elements, right? We're just saying this. And when I take a look as a game as a whole, meaning it has PvP and PvE, and you're asking for the complete, what has the most complete elements to every aspect of a game, it is World of Warcraft. 1 second. But, so I'm just going to say this. It's not an opinion. 30,000 players are telling you. Right. I agree with you. I agree. WoW has had a 10 years start. But they just, I agree with that statement. But you open a can of worms that you can't retract. Does that make them a little bit more knowledgeable in certain things? Right, absolutely. ZeniMax has a long way to grow. This is their first MMO. This is them testing the waters. This is them having to experience this for the first time. Not their staff necessarily. Matt is a legend in the industry, right? Matt was, the president of Mythic at one time, right? Matt and Mark ran DAOC and all that shit. They've been in this industry. Once again, Snoop, it's not a bias when you can look at numbers. It's biased if I'm giving you an opinion that has no cause and effect. If ESO was up here, right, with the most views, can I deny that? Can I deny it? No, I can't. I can't deny that. Right or wrong? If ESO is giving out millions of dollars towards PvP tournaments just to increase sales, could I deny in an e-game? Could I deny that? No, I couldn't. But guess who does? Blizzard. I can't deny this shit. And you can't either. These are facts. This is absolute. This 29.2 is an absolute number. That's absolute. This 6K is an absolute. That's a 5-time difference. That's 5 times the amount of players just viewing the games. Why are you still uploading vids about ESO? You don't want to play? Yeah, whatever, dude. You haven't even paid attention. Mystic, WoW isn't a more complete game than ESO. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. I'm stating facts. Okay? It's not even about my opinion. Fuck my opinion. I hate World of Warcraft. I hate this game. I hate this company with a passion. I hate this company worse than any goddamn company I've ever had to deal with. I hate what Blizzard is nowadays. I used to love them, but I hate Blizzard these days. But I can't argue the fact. Okay? I can't. I can't dispute that. I can't dispute almost 150,000 people are playing and watching League of fucking Legends. Or 150,000 people are watching League of Legends players right now. You can't debate that. I can't debate that. We can't debate that 145,000 people are watching Fortnite. We can't debate these things. That's not debatable. Debatable is preference. I can say I like ESO lore better than World of Warcraft. That's my opinion. Right or wrong? That's my opinion. I can say I like the direction of Final Fantasy XIV's progression system better than majority of games. That's an opinion. That's an opinion. It means nothing. It's subjective. This isn't subjective. That's not subjective. This is not subjective. Okay? It's not. It's biased based on the market. Like, do you think Michael Jordan will sell more sneakers in the U.S. or China? Well, it depends how many people are Bull fans. Will Michael Jordan sell more sneakers to Bull fans than non-Bull fans? What's your point? At the end of the day, Snoop, it comes down to this. What's the facts? That's the way I'm built. Okay, you have to understand. I used to be behind a desk. I didn't give a fuck about opinion. And you could ask my coworkers, and you could ask my employees that. You come in with an opinion, I'd be like, shut the fuck up and bring me the data. I want to see the spreadsheets. That's who I am, Snoop. That is who I am. I don't give a fuck about an opinion. Half the time I don't give a shit about my opinion. Because it means nothing compared to the facts. Well, those games actually work and ESO doesn't. What's more complete than that? Complete? You can't handle even break free in ESO, right? There's a lot of issues. Listen. ESO needs fixed. It just needs fixed. They need to put their resources where its priority is more deficit, where it needs to be allocated. They're losing money now. That's a fact. We have EU players as saying on the official forums, I'm not buying your shit because your servers are running like shit. Fact or not? When they open up their monthly retention spreadsheet, they get it every month. They do a spreadsheet. Believe you and I, that they do a spreadsheet based on their sub months previous month, current month. All right? They do that. And when you're losing it, you have to determine the one thing, why are you losing subscriptions? Why? It comes back down to that. I'm a business person, right? At the end of the day, I'm the dick that everybody hates. I was also an insurance person. So people really hated me. So at the people would be like, but I'm like, it has nothing to do with but. I'm in the insurance. It's everything is about risk, associated risk. You can give me excuses all day. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, we have to, as my company is responsible for the associated risk that we take when we're putting together the policies. That's it at the bottom, end of the line, end of the day. It's just like, I don't have time for the excuses. Who? I beat Maelstrom. I cleared Vet Black Rose yesterday. Trust me, you cannot do that without break free. That's not what he's saying, Snoop. Who, me? Snoop. Are you a fanboy of ESO right now? I'm a fanboy, but at least I'm practical. Are you a fanboy? Clint. ESO. Oh, shit. Here we go. ESO does not work. I got black screen 4 times doing dungeons. I have the best internet. I know you do, Clint. You got fiber. I'm aware of your shit. You get 200 megabytes per second or some shit like that. It's crazy. I think you might even get a gig, I think, don't you? I know you got fiber. Oh, shit. Snoop, listen, man. We all here played ESO. We all here love it. If you ask Irish, he'd tell you it's still his favorite game. Clint here used to play ESO every afternoon. PvE and PvP. Nobody's debating the love they have for ESO. We have to address the problem. It's cause and effect. That's what it is. I understand. You love it. And that's cool. It's your favorite game. And you continue to play it. And you should continue to play it if you love it. Runes of Magic and even DC have given me problems, but you guys say I'm lying. I never said you were lying. I said I've never experienced that. I asked you what platform. That's what I asked. I didn't call you a liar. I'm not a fantastic. I'm nothing in this world. Yes. All right. Listen, dude. No, other games having issues does not excuse ESO being crap. Right. Right. Listen, Snoop, I'm trying to tell you my latency differences. Right? I'm giving you examples of latencies. Right? I can log on Black Desert that has more high-end graphic rendering. I have a PC upstairs. Now, I'm on my downstairs PC. I have a PC upstairs that smokes this rig. That smokes it. It's got a shitload of fucking shit on it. I'm talking, I'm running two 8 gig video cards. I have the i7, 8-core processor. We have, 6400, I want to say. I have to take a look at it. But it's insane. It's a beast of a PC. And I'm still getting 200 latency. And I don't get that in any other game. I don't. I don't care, honestly. I play ESO. You're good at it. Right! That's cool. You guys, and keep playing that stiff-ass Final Fantasy. I don't care. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Play what you want. He still plays ESO, yeah. It's still full of problems. He just went on Maelstrom. What, 2 days ago, dude? I'm not playing ESO. I refuse to log in because it's just that bad, in my opinion. I'm tired of 200. I could go to all 3 rigs in my house. I can go to every console I have. And I'm getting a 200 latency log in. When no other game's giving me that problem. Just accept the fact ESO is broken. I'm at least honest and don't white knight for anything. I'm a realist. I'm a realist as well. It's unfortunate. It sucks. Everybody's like, oh, realists aren't that bad. No, when you're a realist, everything's like, I love it because my wife's like, I think you're pessimistic at times. And I'm like, no, I'm not pessimistic because I don't boo-hoo anything. It's like, it's fucked. Okay, it's cool, guys. Trust me. I'm getting my Beehoff skin hopefully tonight. Well, that's cool. And I will be dancing around my room. That's awesome, dude. And I'm cool with at least you're having fun. But what we're trying to say, you can't sit there and keep saying that there's not issues that have to be addressed. We're saying there are prominent issues, and when the shit keeps hitting the fan with ZeniMax, we're like, when is it going to get resolved? When? What's it going to take for ZeniMax to open up their eyes and realize they did a piss poor job managing the product? It wasn't the content. It's not the dev's fault. Okay? It's not the dev's fault. And when my Necro comes out, I'm going to make my Necro and be hype as a kid on Christmas. Dude, cool. That's awesome. ESO is a great game. And I've said that. And you've heard me say that multiple times. It's just got issues, man. It's got major issues. I'm pre-ordered for Final Fantasy XIV. When Shadowbringers comes out, I'm going to be hyped as a kid. Because I completed my MSQ. I've completed the entire storyline. I've already spoke with, somebody from Square, and I have this little side project hopefully I'm going to be working on. And I've got videos coming out with configurations, and I'm going to be hyped up because I have easy configs for my classes, which makes playing Final Fantasy XIV a hell of a lot easier and more fast combat. So I am going to be hyped up. And when I start getting my mounts, I'm going to be like, whatever. So, I get 2 new jobs. You get a class. Okay, cool. Great. You got Necro. I got Dancer and Gunblade. You want to go down the line? Cool. Awesome. You got no new races. We got 2 new races. You got 1 new class. We got 2 new classes. You get 1 new trial. We get 3 new raids. You get, 2 new dungeons? Maybe not even dungeons. ESO going cash if they don't do something before, going to crash if they don't do something before update, right? That's all I'm saying. I'm like, I get 9 new dungeons. That's not even including my hard modes. It's not even including my slayers. You're just defending ESO because you guys are making... Then I'm going to put it against... If we're going to defend it, I'm going to slaughter ESO with the facts. Are you getting 9 new dungeons? Yes or no? Are you getting 3 new trials? Yes or no? Are you getting 2 new classes? Yes or no? Are you getting 2 new races? Yes or no? Snoop, you failed. Because now I get to destroy ESO in front of you. Why is Final Fantasy XIV number 1? Because it raped ESO in content. It rapes it. I don't have to build an alt on Final Fantasy XIV. How many alts do I have on ESO? 30? 30? How many do I have on Final Fantasy XIV? 1. Snoop, 1. 1 tune. 1. You want to rag on Final Fantasy XIV? Final Fantasy 14 PvE blows the fuck out of Elder Scrolls. Their raids are better than Elder Scrolls. Their class system is better than Elder Scrolls. Their progression system is better than Elder Scrolls. You want to know why 14 million players are playing it? It's not because they're Asian. It's not. It's because the company is to put back into it. Is it perfect? No. Is Final Fantasy 14 perfect? No. No, it's not. Nothing is. You said that yourself. But I can sit here, and if I'm going to compare content to content, and if I'm going to do a comparison, who do you think out just smoked the fuck out of content? Let's hypothetically say the DLCs get introduced throughout the year, right? That makes it what? 6 new dungeons? Maybe 2 new raids, right? Maybe. Right? For ESO, for an entire year. Okay, great. When Final Fantasy 14 is going to deliver 3 new raids, 2 new trials, 9 new dungeons, including hard modes, and then we're adding slayers. I mean, it's like, okay. So, just in dungeons, 9 to 6 beat. Raids beat. Races beat. Classes beat. That's your opinion. That's what I'm trying to sell you. And my opinion is ESO's running like shit. But it's just not my opinion. Everybody has one. But the fact of it is, if I'm going to compare content, ESO isn't providing more than Final Fantasy, is it? Just in that alone is smoked. When they have 2 new classes coming out, 2 new races, and this and this and this, where does ESO stand? 14 million players are wrong? I doubt that. I know, Snoop. But you're sitting here and you're now trying to defend ESO to the point where you want to trash another game, and that's cool. I do the same thing. But now I'm going to tell you, if we're going to do a comparison, let's be honest. Who's putting in more money? Who's anteing up? Okay? Who put in 2 new servers? Who? ESO is just delivering problems. It's just like this, Snoop. I love ESO. It's like I said, it's one of my favorite games. But it comes down to the little things, man. It comes down to the shit. It's like, I don't want to have this argument. I don't want to have this debate. It's opinionated. It's whatever. Only thing I'm asking is, like, is these sales going to reflect? Are we going to have problems with Elswyer? Yeah. Yeah. When people start asking me, why don't you play ESO anymore? It's like, what part of trash servers doesn't anybody get? It's trash. I've been doing this for 20 years. If I tell a company your servers are trash, your servers are fucking trash. That's not an opinion. That's a professional observation. Your servers are fucking trash. Even Outcast, who is a big ESO player, has multiply said ESO servers are trash. It's come out of his mouth. Is he wrong, Snoop? Is Outcast wrong? If one content creator for ESO says that the servers are shit, Is he wrong for saying it? Because that's what's pissing me the fuck off about people. Because people like you can come here and fucking persecute me, but then you'll fucking go to the fucking goddamn ESO God and bow down and suck his fucking dank and fucking not even listen to a fucking thing he's saying. So when one of the goddamn best players for ESO says the servers are trash, you know what I'll say? I'll say cheers. And I'll toast that motherfucker. And when players like you, Snoop, want to be in denial because now you pissed me off with your fanism, you're going to fucking get fucking rolled over. Because it's not just me. It's thousands of players. It's thousands, Snoop. And it's time for fucking ZeniMax to pay the fucking raper. It is time for fucking ZeniMax to ante the fuck up. Mark. Shh. You played multiple MMOs, Mark. I'm sorry. Take him out. Oh, okay, Mark. Here's what I got to ask you. You've been playing Final Fantasy 14. You played Elder Scrolls. You played Guild Wars. You played Black Desert Online. You played World of Warcraft. Out of all the games you played, in all the years that you've played, name me one game other than ESO that had just as bad as performance. Who is up there with ESO? White Knights, what can you do? You had people claiming they were playing just fine when the servers were offline. Yeah, that was a real thing too. That was real. That was a real thing. Oh, I don't know what you guys are complaining about. I'm playing, nothing's going wrong right here. And then it's in big red letters, servers down. Oh my God. The thing about it is, every game has problems. I agree with this. I do. But what's going on right now has to be addressed. It cannot be denied. It cannot be rebutted. It cannot be anything. Does ESO, here's my question. Does ZeniMax want this? Does ZeniMax want 29,000 players watching their game? Would you want 29,000 players watching your game right now? Yes or no? Now, you're doing a comparison. What seems better? You're a company. 6,000 people watching your game being played? Or 30,000 people watching your game being played? Which is better? Which is better for you as as a company? Who? What? ZeniMax has potential. Man, none. Oh shit. I have to go back to the Ultima Online for anything close. I know. And that's what I was telling Snoop. I'm like, listen, man, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've tested for some of the top company. I've tested for Matt's company. I tested when Matt ran Mythic. I tested for that company when Matt was running it. And the thing about it is, I'm going to say this. In fucking 21 years of doing this, I have never, fucking goddamn never, have seen a latency so goddamn horrible besides dial-up. You are in 2019, and that shit is fucking unexcusable. You have an entire server crash and pings hitting 400 to 600 peaks. What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Why in the god fuck do I go over to the fucking shit and server was down and goddamn yet, nobody responded to what the fuck happened? Right? Did a ZeniMax rep reply to this? Server maintenance underway now during prime time. Was there a ZeniMax rep here? No. When you can go to a fucking poll and you have players that are saying, I'm not playing this fucking chapter because of fucking performance, what's that tell you in your fucking company? This shouldn't be 32%. This should be 5 or 6%, not 32%. If I sold this, I would be pulling people in my goddamn office. Going the fuck off. I've been gaming since 1975. Pong, dude, I had a Pong, yes! But I've only been MMOing since 21 years. I used to play MUDs before then. But yeah, I had the Pong, dude, right. Dude, I had the old Sega. Remember the Sega before the Genesis came out? The old console that had the little, both the cartilage and the little disc sticks? Oh, dude, I had that too. That was badass. Dude, my dude had a Commodore. That's the only rig I didn't have besides the Neo Geo. And I couldn't afford a Neo Geo. I mean, I don't know too many people who could. But literally, my dude had a Commodore, and I used to go over, and because I had a PlayStation, so he would come over to my house and play my PS, and I used to rock the old Commodore games, man. This is the shit. Dude, the shit. Badass, dude. Oh, those were the days. Remember what TSR used to actually have really good games too? Oh, took RPG to a whole new level back then. So, dude, I still remember playing Menzo Baranzan on PC back when it had DOS prompt. Right before 3.2 came out. That was so cool. So, awesome. Yeah, dude. Seriously, man. I'm just going to say this, and a lot of people don't realize Nintendo, before they actually manufactured consoles, they were a publishing company. They were a game development company for Atari. You know, a lot of people don't remember that. Like when Nintendo used to develop games, they were like Activision and Konami and them. But then they just upped the ante. But Nintendo used to develop video games. They used to be a video game company. So, crazy. But yeah, I'll be honest. And Snoop, I apologize. Man. But don't open that can of worms, man. Because I'll be honest with you. If Outkast is saying it, and any of you motherfuckers, any of you little fucking fan goddamn boys ever come to me, ever fucking step to me, and say I ain't got a right to talk about ESO, I'll fucking point you over to Outkast and I'll be like, but it's okay for him to say it, right? And do you agree with him? Because if you agree with him and you don't agree with me, guess what, bitch? Suck these motherfucking nuts. I had the old Tandy. I did not have that, dude, for Radio Shack. Apple ICC on the amber screen, dude. I didn't have that one. I had the Apple II, but I didn't have the Tandy. No. Crazy, man. Crazy. I remember when we used to use C plus on Apple when we did our programming and stuff. We used to write C plus. I remember that. It was all on on Apple. But yeah, so I'm gonna let this go, and I'm just gonna wrap it up. And I do apologize. I love Snoop. I love him to death. So, and I don't think he's wrong for defending it. But don't come at me with saying shit's biased. Okay? I don't apologize. He told me to fuck off. Well, I'm saying if I offended him. But here's my deal. And I don't give a fuck about Final Fantasy 14 versus ESO. That's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. This is about this fucking poll and this fucking number right here. And the responses as to goddamn why. Look, this time, as so many have already stated, I'm not buying it until it's marked improvement for PC EU server performance. It's fucking goddamn everywhere. And it's finally affecting their bottom line. Okay? Look, it's breaking my heart, but I can't justify purchasing Elswyer while ESO performance. There was somebody also had a ping. It was like, check out the ping. You can check out the ping by doing this, which is simple, just internet IP check. So, but yeah, it's bad. It's fucking goddamn bad. Okay? Let's make no fucking joke about it. And when fucking Az over there in heel versus babyface, and I'm fucking gonna flog Az for this. I like Az. I like him. But like he just said in the video, everybody has their opinion and this way it is, and they have all these pansies. Well, you know what, Az, I agree with you. You can fuck off. I agree with you. I agree with your statement. They can fuck off, and you can fuck off. Because you know why? At least I'm not fucking going to ignore my fellow Europeans and promote a game which has been fucking having issues for the last, 2-3 months. And then they had a server crash. And yet one of the biggest European content creators who's playing fucking Elder Scrolls isn't covering it. Yeah, Az. Fuck off, mate. What's up, Jack? Programs came on cassette tapes, yeah. The old magnetic strips, right? Yeah, what's up, Jack? Hope you're doing well. Dude, I got to play DC. I didn't know if you got to watch me play DC UO, but I was on there last week. I got to get on probably sometime this weekend just to fuck off. Haven't talked to you in ages, man. I hope you're doing well, man. I hope school's going well. I hope the internship program's going well. I hope everything is well with you, brother. I'm just about to cut it, though. I'm about to wrap up this shit. And I'm sure, Jack, you're from Europe. And your guys' line, your connection over there is pretty beast, Jack, in a lot of places. I know London has really good connection speeds. London is no joke. And, yeah, I got banned for bringing that up. Right. Well, this is what I have to say to Az. Fuck you, mate. I agree with him. There was the last video. He's like, and this, and people are, being all, wimps and whatever, and they could fuck off. I'm like, yeah, I agree with you, ass. I agree with you. You're promoting a game, and you're not covering the bullshit that's going on with it. You can flog Activision Blizzard. You can flog EA. You can flog everybody with all this bullshit. But when it comes to the one game that you're talking so goddamn good about, you won't fucking stick up for your fellow Europeans. You fucking crumpet, you. Yeah, I saw it. My internship just ended, by the way. Oh, okay. Well, I hope it was good, brother. I hope it was good. Yeah, I hate to say it. I like Az. I like it. I like a lot of his content over there in Heels versus Babyface. I love it. But when this motherfucker wants to talk shit, and then all of a sudden, but ESO has these voluptuous breasts that I can customize, and it's for research purposes, and, and fucking Blizzard over here won't let modders make boobies, well, then, fuck them. Okay. I mean, but who gives a fuck about quality of a game, right? Az, who gives a fuck about quality of a game? Az, who gives a fuck? Fucking A. Swear to God. Anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. With that being said, as always, I'm Mystic Raven. This is Mystics MMOs. Jack, thank you for stopping in. Snoop, I love you, man. Regardless, I don't have hate for you. I love you. Irish, love you. Mark, love you guys every day. Anybody who came in today, Clint, dude, love you, brother. Anybody who came in, thank you for showing up. Thank you for the conversation. It gets heated. It's never boring around here. I promise you that. I'm Mystic Raven. This is Mystics MMOs. And yeah, we're going to keep it real. And you all have a nice day.